Well, okay. Hey everybody, and welcome back to Take Your Time Gaming. I'm your Captain Wesley on this journey of Titanic adventure out of time. In the last episode, we discovered that the Conkling's maid is holding compromising information about the Conklings and has requested or demanded $5,000 from the Conklings in order to hand over the paper with the compromising information. Shailagh, who's the maid, her brother is insisting on the money, and I feel like he's the driving force behind requiring it. I don't know what their motivations are other than escaping the Conklings, but it seems like the Conklings have been unable to have a child and finally reported that the wife, Beatrix Conkling, is pregnant, but it seems like that's been taking a long time to do so I wonder if that has anything to do with Shailagh. At the same time, we were given this beautiful necklace by Georgia, and we don't know anything about it. But before we start investigating these couple of loose threads, let's take a moment to grab a tasty beverage, and let's get started. So in my satchel here, or my briefcase, I've got the prayer card that the Reverend gave to me. I've got this necklace, which I'd like to look at. Okay, looks pretty shiny. I'm no gemologist, but it definitely looks shiny. Georgia's necklace, okay. So she, if you remember the last episode, gave us this because this is her ticket out of her unhappy marriage. Basically her get out of jail free card. She can sell it and then start her own new life in America. So our goal now is to go and meet with Shailagh again. We just relayed their $5,000 demand to Mr. Conkling. So, still a bunch of random strangers here. Let's go to the aft deck. Hello again.
I knew you'd come.
Tell me what's happened, Georgia.
Charles received a telegram from the solicitors. Our estate's to be sold off. He asked about the necklace I gave you. I told him I left it with a purser. Don't say anything to him or Sasha. Not him and his group of... Oh, there's much more to tell you. Can you meet me in my stateroom? I'm in B70. It's Charles' custom to go for a drink in the smoking room. When he does, visit me.
Okay. Okay, so let's go hang out by B70. Wait for Charles to leave. And then talk again. Nope, nobody here of interest. B-deck cabins. We are looking for 70 on this side of the ship, right here. So I need to wait for him to leave to go up to the lounge. I'll just idly study this handrail very intently because of course I'm sure it hasn't been polished properly and I must complain to the stewards about it. B70. Come on, guy. I don't have all night to just sit here and wait for you to leave. Okay, I'm gonna stand here for a little bit, guys, and wait for him to come out. I'll bring you back when he does. Well, no sign of Charles. Let's try knocking on the door.
Enter.
So apparently he's already left. She told me to come in. Okay, please tell me more. I still feel suspicious and he could be back at any minute.
I wasn't sure you'd come.
Well, first, let's get this out of the way because she's going to push her interests on me. So what do you know about Conkling?
Andrew Conkling? He's loaned money to Charles. A lot of it, I think.
Very interesting. It's probably worth noting down. Which makes sense, because I'm sure in his attempt to salvage all of his failed business endeavors, he's gone to all of his buddies and said, please give me money so I can continue to go to the country club, etc.
First, I want to know how you fared these last years. Rather well from the looks of you. I'm glad to see you. You're the only person I can trust. Please promise me you'll help.
You've put me in a bit of a pickle here. Because I don't know if your mission conflicts with my mission, then my mission comes first. So I can really, honestly promise you nothing. But I really want to help because I've known you, obviously, for a long time. I can promise you nothing. I'm sorry.
Still angry at me? You can't change the past. Let's start over, can we? Begin again? Now, with my life a horrible mess.
Tell me the story.
When Charles discovered my affair with Saoirse, he was quite calm. But I know him, you see. His revenge is taking the necklace, leaving me with nothing. And Saoirse, I'd never trust him again. Don't you see? They're looking for guns, for bombs.
So, George has had an affair with Saoirse. But really, plots about bombs sound much more interesting and pertinent to my mission as a spy. So, who are they?
Saoirse's friends. His gallery was their London base. They were rough men, foreign. Saoirse told me they were part of a Balkan aid society. Stupid girl that I was, I believed him. But then I found out. These people, they... Charles!
Oh dear.
Please, Georgia, continue. Was it my title or my income you found so desirable? I was never sure. Now that both assets are depleted, why don't you go to Saoirse? Maybe he can help, as he's done before.
This is awkward.
Ignore him. I see the smoking room's had its usual effect.
Idle gossip, Pen.
You see his attitude? Please, go.
Since she obviously can't depend on me. Here, take the chill out of the air. Thank you for seeing after my wife. Now I think it best you leave the happy couple, drowning in their happiness. Good night.
Remember, I need your help.
Guys, I'm now very awkwardly stuck in your marital issues. Just because I happen to be her ex somehow, and she thinks I'm still angry about it. So anyways, now we know that they are not faring so well. We already kind of knew that from the socialite who had told us about it. But now we know firsthand that they are not very happy in general. So let's go talk to Shailagh, the maid of Conkling. Get a little bit more information on that before we go back to Conkling to confront him about his loans into Charles's business interests. So I'm gonna give me a little bit of time here. I'm gonna fly through and try to find the second-class stairs again. This ship is sometimes difficult to find everything. It's a lovely night. Oh, I can just click. That's nice. I can fast travel just by clicking the second class stairs. And I am looking for C deck, I believe. No, perhaps we keep going down. Well, I know Scotland Road will take us out to the cabins. Third class cabins. So this is where I'm looking for Shailagh in, in the third class cabins. I don't know if he told me which one hers was. Okay, so her cabin is F59. After going back and replaying that bit of information.
Jack, is that you?
Why, yes, it's me, Jack.
I don't want to wake the baby. Oh,
Obviously, it's not Jack, so I'm going to say I need to speak with you.
but we were meeting later. Where's Jack?
I want to know about Conkling's letter.
Please, I don't want no trouble. I didn't know the letter was so dear. I just wanted to take something, anything that looked valuable. For the baby. It was Jack who read it. Saw it was bad for Mr. Conkling. He said the bit about selling bad steel would ruin him if it was to get out in the papers.
Oh, goodness. I want to know about this steel.
Anyway, Jack, he says Mr. Conkling got the letter from an engineer up at the mill.
What did the letter say?
Said the mill's been making bad steel. High in sulfur is what he called it. The steel's no good, and they put it in the Titanic. It'd be a scandal if it got out. That's why Mr. Conkling wants the letter back. But Jack, he says Conkling will have to pay us to get it. $5,000. Huh, Mrs. Conkling's probably behind it. All she cares about is a fine name and pots of cat and a baby. But she won't get Eddie. No, she won't. And if she tries, I'll ruin her. Make her poor as me.
So interestingly, the steel in the Titanic has been subject of a lot of metallurgical investigation because the plates broke so easily when hit by the iceberg. There was talk about how the steel that they used got more brittle when exposed to cold temperatures than other equivalent steels. And while that is true, it was in line with the metallurgy of the time. It wasn't as if
I should go back
it was
inside.
defective. But it wasn't optimal, I would say, for the design of the Titanic, which allowed the plates, the hull plates, to break and flood the compartments. So they're tying this back to Conkling's steel empire and saying that because he made this bad deal of the steel, it would definitely not be good for that letter to get out, especially knowing that the Titanic sinks. So let's find some more information out about this baby.
My baby, Eddie. He's the only reason I stood them last month at the Conklings. I knew Mr. Conkling weren't going to leave his missus. I was only a parlour maid, but I didn't care. I was happy to have his baby. Him and Mrs. Conkling. I thought they was so kind. Until I found out.
What did you find out?
That Mrs. Conkling was going to steal my baby for her own. Once I had it, she would fire me and take Eddie for herself. She can't have her own babies. So they used me to get one, to get Eddie.
Mm-hmm.
When I found out that was her plan, I left. I didn't know the letter was anything. I thought it might hold a pound or two.
Interesting. Yeah, so my suspicions were confirmed. I was wrong that Beatrix is actually pregnant. She was probably telling people that because she intends to steal the baby. I'm not sure how exactly they're going to explain the difference in age here. So Shailagh is the mother of his child, and they want to steal it for their own, or at least Beatrix does, because she can't have any of her own. So such intrigue and plot. Let us thank you for giving us this intelligence, and I hope you have a good night.
You finished with me. I should go back inside. Well, that's Eddie. Bye. Don't forget about our meeting.
Nope. Will definitely not. Okay. Well, let's go back upstairs. Let us go back to meet Andrew Conkling and Beatrix in their quarters. I'm just going to pull the map out in fast travel because that seems to be far easier to do. Okay, we're back at the B deck cabins. We're gonna find B70. All the way at the end of the hall. Almost the end of the hall.
I know how to handle her. Please leave us. Good night. Good night.
Well, okay. So he doesn't want to talk to me at all. Oh, I went to B70. That's the wrong one. That's Charleston, Georgia. So B59 is Andrew's quarters. So sorry to have disturbed you guys again. I did not want to get drawn back into that discussion. Knock knock. Housekeeping. No? Okay. Well, I tried. A-deck cabins. Now let's go to A27, who is GQC George Quincy Clifford, and see if we can knock on his door. That would be the guy who was harassing Daisy. Knock knock. No? You don't want to talk to me? Well, okay. I understand. I wouldn't open the door for a stranger. Even one as apparently good looking as I am, according to Georgia.
Hello.
Let's chat with you
In need
again.
of psychic consultation?
Can you do a reading of something for me? Let's read this prayer card.
The Reverend Trout's ministrations.
Yep.
He thinks I'm the devil incarnate. This will make someone a welcome gift, I sense.
Okay, good to know. Well, thank you for that bit of information.
Good night.
I'm not going to show you those diamonds, because that does not sound like a good idea. Well, what's left on our list to do, guys? We've talked to Daisy. We went to check on George Quincy Clifford. We've heard the life story of Andrew Conkling. Shailagh Hacker. We've met with her and discussed her requirements. We went back to try to talk to Conkling, but he doesn't seem interested in answering the door, so maybe he's out of his quarters currently. There's a German in steerage. We haven't investigated the German in steerage yet. So I'm thinking we investigate the German in steerage. We have gotten Shailagh alone already. And we have been in the middle of Georgia's awkward confrontation with her husband, who's been in the lounge. So I have an idea. Mr. Buick Riviera appears to know things about things. I don't know if I trust him or not, but at least he's an old acquaintance. I'm thinking that I bring him those jewels, since I can hopefully trust him on board, and see if his appraised gambler's eye knows what they are. There's nobody here in the gymnasium still. No, I went to go to the lounge, so back inside here. Nope, don't want to go to the cabins. First class lounge. Oh, it's closed still. Oh. How about the smoking room? I don't remember where the smoking room is. Let's go down to D-Deck and check out the, oh!
I say, what's your step?
Are you hurt, Henry?
No harm done. No harm.
I'm so sorry.
Trot on my toe.
We're the Goss Joneses from Whistle, you know. How are you finding the crossing?
Oh, the Gloss Joneses, okay, they must be well-to-do. I'm sorry I stepped on your foot. Very nice, thank you.
You're English, then? I would have thought American. Oh, my. I didn't mean to insult.
Can't hold a thought.
Dreadfully large place, America.
Brain like as if...
All that space and all those immigrants trying to fill it up. I was just commenting to Henry, on a White Star crossing one meets all the right people. While we were just chatting with a delightful elderly couple in the reception, the Strausses was
Own a small dry goods store in New York somewhere. Called Macy's.
on D-Day.
Right in.
Called
Must
Macy's.
you always finish my sentences? You're as jumpy as that American chap, that photographer.
Yes, he was just snapping away.
Taking pictures of some German colonel and that Englishman.
Snap, snap, snap.
War's coming all right. Mark my words.
War? How beastly. Will Mr. Burns have to fight? He and his wife, such sweet things. But I do see her point. It is their honeymoon. Why he insists on snapping those photos, I haven't a clue.
For God's sake, woman, talk like a madam in a Rangoon bawdy house.
Henry, that's unspeakable.
So don't speak then. Yaps louder than a scrum of rabid corgis. Now see here, this Burns chap.
If you want to see something interesting, take a look at his pictures. He's on C deck, cabin C, 78.
So perhaps we're not the only investigator on board. They say he's snapping pictures of the German fellas. That doesn't sound like a photography hobby to me. That sounds like he used this honeymoon on the Titanic as an excuse to come and take some pictures for whoever his loyalties lie towards. Let's save the game very quickly. Interesting. I'm glad the game chose to give us that interaction when we teleported in case we would have missed it by traveling normally. How are you doing, Smethles? Having a good evening?
May I be of assistance?
Okay, so I could just ask him for his input on these.
A certain Mr. Trask appears quite prescient about such matters. He's somewhere on board.
Mr. Trask, but I don't trust him enough to give him the diamonds, so thank you, though.
Good night.
C-Deck cabins, let's go to C-78. And see if we can check out his photography.
Yes, can I help you?
Are you Eric Burns?
You found him. What do you want?
Well, I have been told by a well-to-do couple, if somewhat annoying couple, that you have lovely photographic skills. So please, may I see your work?
Well, unfortunately, I don't have time to show it to you.
Your dedication to your craft is admirable, sir.
Gee, thanks, I think so. I wish Stephanie agreed with you. My wife's angry with me because I've spent more time with my camera than with her. She just doesn't understand that a photographer can't stop taking pictures, even on his honeymoon. Have you seen Stephanie? She's wearing a blue hat. I better wait for her.
I have not seen her. Perhaps I should go find her if she's wearing a blue hat.
Hello. Good to see you again. Have you seen Stephanie? She's wearing a blue hat.
No, I'm sorry, I haven't.
Well, if you find her, please come and tell me. Good night.
Absolutely. So he's looking for his wife in the blue hat. I don't know where she might be. Let's go back to the staircase and tool about a bit, see if we can't have another random encounter with somebody. I'm gonna check in the Café Parisien again just to see if there's anybody else in here. Oh, the German is still staring out the window.
But we have not been introduced. Good night.
Okay, well. I didn't know that Germans were so fond of decorum and making sure you're introduced to the people you're talking to. I think it's probably more likely he just doesn't want to talk. Anyone in the smoking room? Let's talk to Mr. Riviera again.
A game, mon ami?
Well, I can't talk to him at all, so I'm gonna stay at 18. You win. Congratulations.
I win. You like to play again?
No, thank you.
Bonsoir.
Bonsoir, monsieur. And the lounge is still closed in other news. Well, I'm just zipping all around this ship because I don't know where to go. Let's go down to D-Deck and check out the saloon down here. It seems like a good place to find information. A lady with a blue hat. This may be Stephanie. Well, I can't interact with her. But I did find her. So I don't think I have access to the first class dining saloon because it's not dinner time, so perhaps that's why I can't go in there. In any case, now that we found his sister, let's go back to C-78. Fly down the hallway. I'm sure these passengers just love it when I stomp my way up and down the hallway.
Good to see you again. Did you see Stephanie?
Yes, she's in the grand staircase.
She must really be sore with me.
Well, maybe you should actually spend time with her on your honeymoon. That sounds like a reasonable thing. Maybe you should pay more attention to her. Maybe you should tell her how much you care. That sounds less passive-aggressive. Maybe you should tell her how much you care.
You've got pretty good advice. I'm going to find her right now. Excuse me. Good night.
Well, now that you're out of here, let's go snooping. I don't know how much time I have to snoop. Let's check out these pictures. Okay. A lady by herself. Well-off couple in a motor car. Oh, another couple. They seem familiar to me. They were the two that told us about him, in fact. So he's been taking pictures of all these people on board. And the lovely dog in the photograph as well. Gelatine printing paper. Okay. Oops, did I break it? Exposed. 1, 2. Okay, well I just screwed that up. I just developed a paper. Okay, I'm gonna go back to my previous save because I should have read the instructions before I tried developing this photographic information. Save scumming for the win. Okay, I'll bring you back after I've completed those last few things that I did before saving last time. Okay, I am back in the photographic in the room now that I have told him where his wife is. So turn off all light sources or the film will be exposed. Turn on the darkroom lantern, open the film cartridge and remove the paper. Place it in the start bath. Wait about 15 to 20 seconds. Remove from the start bath and place in the stop bath. Wait another 10 to 15 seconds. Remove from the stop bath. Okay. Now, okay, so I turn the lantern on. I need to turn off the cabin lights. Now, let us see what secrets this film may reveal. 1, 2, 3. Put it in here. 1, 2. Oh, I overdid it. Let's try this next one. Perhaps we'll get it better. 1, 1000, 2, 1000, 3, 1004. Take it out, take it out, take it out. Okay. And the final one.
Look at this photograph.
That's a little dark as well. Well, no one will ever know I was here, surely. Well, I don't even know what I'm supposed to do with those photographs, except that I ruined them. Oh, 15 to 20 and 10 to 15. I should have read those better, but, you know. This may not bode well for me, but that's alright. Oh, look. Clothes. And a hat. And shoes. Okay. I have not found anything exciting in here. Should probably leave. You didn't see anything. It was not me who ruined all your photographs. I am out of here. Okay, well, I think that's it for this episode of Titanic Adventure Out of Time. We, once again, still have just found more and more threads that need unraveling. We don't know what our purpose is on the ship. We've made no progress with the Germans so far. So I think in the next episode, we need to go down to steerage and see if we can find the German man that they were talking about who seems to have a way around the ladies. And then maybe we can find some more information. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next video. And yeah, so thanks. I hope you have a great rest of your evening. Cheers.